Tonight, members of the Madison Landmarks Commission broke with the recommendation of Common Council when it came to a decision about a historic home in the city. Amy Reed joins us now to explain why the commission decided to do this.
A few months ago, we told you about this house, 121 Langdon Street. It was built in 1886, and it has a storied past in Madison, landing at a spot on the city's list of landmarks in 1974. When members of the Landmarks Commission found the owner was no longer keeping the building up to the standard a landmark demands, they jumped in, and they aren't letting go yet. Sure, every house has a story, but without this one, Madison's story would be a lot different. Long before the multi-level was split up for college kids, it played hotel for Grover Cleveland, and it's what sold Oscar Mayer on Madison. But the last few years, this house's story has been less glamorous. Stu Levitan was a main character in that chapter when he was the chair of the Landmarks Commission.
It's been undergoing demolition by neglect for 3 years. The Landmarks Commission made that finding, and rather than have the guts to vote up or down by itself on its own authority, the council directed the Landmarks Commission without any prior notice to rescind the finding of demolition by neglect.
The council decided that early last month. They noticed the work that needed to be done had been, at least for the most part. The building was soon going to be up to code for the first time in years. So the finding of demolition by neglect, a black mark on the record of a landmark property owner, should be rescinded, they thought. For the record, Levitan disagrees.
Think of the message this sends to other developers. You can screw around with a landmark property for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. If you're finally caught and the building inspection writes up orders and the Landmarks Commission finds demolition by neglect, if at the end of all that you finally fix the building, the city council will say no harm, no foul.
Now we move on to public comment.
Tonight, the Landmarks Commission met again to discuss the property they talked about for years. Levitan, now in the audience, made his case, and the commissioners seemed to agree, voting to uphold what they'd decided before. The finding of demolition by neglect stays. This house's story, even this subplot, is not over. The property owner will continue the work on the outside that he needs to finish, and when that's done in about November, the commission will meet again to decide if the finding can be removed after all. Now, we've reached out to the property owner to get his side of all this. He did not get back to us.